So, as we can all see, it's September the 20th, 2024. It's about 20 minutes after 11, and I just sent another correspondence, and we can see who's tagged. It's these male and female public servants acting as the Victoria Supreme Court Registry, some public servants acting as a parent justice in Vancouver. You've got public servants acting as victims first. That's federal government, ombudsman. You've got the female acting as the BC Attorney General, Nikki Sharma. You've got, the male acting as the Premier of British Columbia, David Eby. You've got a male who works at the West Shore RCMP detachment, also tagged here. Because as we just heard in the last upload, I called the RCMP in the West Shore I need to speak to the BC Hate Crimes Unit. And, we heard what happened, right? Yeah, you've got the Dean Duthie here. You've got Justin Trudeau. You've got the MLA for Saanich Popham. You've got the Deputy Premier, Mike Farnworth. You've got the BC Hate Crimes Unit. You've got the federal male around this section here, Randall Garrison. You've got Resilience BC. They're supposed to be protecting people who are hated because of their race. They're supposed to be stopping racially motivated hate crimes in the province here. Oh, you've got John Rustad. And then you've got this minister who is supposed to be doing something about racial discrimination in the province, this Mabel Lee Elmore. Mabel. Is that your name, Mabel? So this is what I just sent out. Each of you public servants tagged can see the file number for a malicious prosecution begun by criminals, the racists who hate my identifiable group of official guests, non-resident foreigners. This is official service and proper notice of case dismissed with prejudice of this vexatious, scandalous, without merit, frivolous, false accusations, court file number 1201-188951-1 by the woman known as Victoria. That's the woman that you listen to. That's the woman who is hated by the community she's been placed in, constantly violently assaulted, constantly robbed by acts of fraud on the court. All of my personal private property has been destroyed by violent, vile, unprofessional, ugly, useless public servants. Well, I am the woman with the only authority to stop your hatred, violence, discrimination, collusion, fraud. You acting as Victoria Supreme Court Registry, which is actually the court. You understand that, right? That is the court. The registry is the court. Everything else is just fucking bullshit. Babylonian beast bullshit. That's what all that other fucking garbage is. To keep the fucking monkeys employed. Give them something to do all day, every day, to destroy those in the community who actually know what's going on around here. You, acting as Victoria Supreme Court Registry staff, be aware I'm a woman who does not accept invitations to go to the slaughter by your malicious witnesses acting as policy enforcement, Crown Counsel, public servants, or the bench. You will listen to how all of your barf member, bencher, public servant presumptions are rebutted, and why I will not be forced to live in fear for my health, welfare, or my safety, which is exactly your plan to destroy my life, my peace, and my happiness. Each of you tagged is responsible in your personal capacity for the loss, harm, and injury you are intentionally, willfully, knowingly causing my family. And I am the woman you seek to destroy. Proof beyond reasonable doubt of criminal minds and criminal acts. Law maxim. No one is bound to obey an order which is invalid. Law maxim. Justice must be rooted in the law, not in the authority of an unqualified individual. Law maxim. It is a rule of law that an error not resisted is approved. Law maxim. No one is bound to expose himself or herself to danger. Law maxim. The act of law does no one wrong. law maxim, those who have committed iniquity, which is lawlessness, right? It's refusal to follow the common law, which sits on the witness box of every whorehouse room, shall not have equity. So you have no standing, you have no authority. So, and there's the YouTube that I just did, rebutting all their presumptions, because they need to listen to me, go through all 12 of their presumptions, and rebut each and every one. Now, do you understand that the all capital name, when they have your name written in all capitals, that is a limited liability corporation? That's how all these fucking BARF members and all these public servants and all these benchers, because they actually are a part of a private for-profit corporation. That's how they get away with murder, theft, and destruction. Because then they're not personally liable for the murder, theft, and destruction that they cause, right? That's the whole fucking game. That's the Babylonian beast bullshit. Right? It's like Fulton and Company and Kamloops there, who ran an act of fraud on the court to collapse a trust and steal everything out of the trust, and then keep all the money from what they sold. Land, home, an automobile. They're an LLC. So they're believing that each and every one of the warped, wicked weasels who act as that private for-profit corporation, Fulton and Company, are not personally responsible for their criminal minds and criminal acts. Well, let me inform you. David Eby, Justin Trudeau, Varani Arif, Nikki Sharma, and all the useless, unprofessional, ugly underlings under you, Victoria Ann Nevins in all capitals, yeah, that's an LLC. That's a limited liability corporation. I, the woman, am not responsible. Right? For the accusations that you've leveled against that corporation. And that's why when I was sent the letter from the criminals acting as Crown Counsel, it's pretty obvious that they're aware that they can only deal in fiction. They can only deal with artificial persons. Because that's legal. That's law. That's the legal world. Legal and law have nothing to do with each other. No, common law is for the living. Legal is for the dead and dead entities. So Victoria Ann Nevins in all capitals is a dead entity. And they assume that I'm going to claim that name. They just assume and presume that I claim the name. Well, I know your little fucking sick satanic fucking game. I know your little sick fucking satanic gargoyle games. So Victoria Ann Nevins belongs to the Crown. Yeah, sure it does. We just went through all of that. Don't you fucking dare come back to this fucking door. Did you hear what I just fucking said? Don't you fucking come back to the door. There is no warrant out for my arrest. I'm sorry. I'm a living woman. You have no authority over the living. You can only deal with your own kind, which is the dead. You're beasts, so you can only deal with other beasts. I'm a woman. I'm not a human. You have no authority in my life. You have no authority over my life. And what you're doing is just continuing to stop justice of being served upon you. Now, I have filed a complaint with the BC Complaints Commission. Now, my complaint is your restraint. And now I've just notified you that your fucking case is dismissed with prejudice. And what that means is you can't ever bring it up again. Yeah, when you come after me, you create my court. When you come after me with your vexatious, frivolous, without merit, malicious prosecution, false accusations, you create the common law high court of the King of Kings, and there are no liars and no lies in that court. When you come after me, you identify me as your prosecutor. Because unlike you, I'm not a malicious witness. Now, every single one of these male and females and every single cabal tagged in this email, do you understand that it's over? I have work to do. I now have to begin to put in jail trespassers destroying my private property. I now have to locate the automobile that my spouse gifted me and have it returned to me because that is my stolen private property. Listen, you are not above the law. And each and every one of you tagged in here, the male and females acting those public service roles, pathetic, poisonous, profane, pushing nothing but propaganda. You don't do anything that you say you're going to do. That's called hypocrisy. My people, the peculiar people, know exactly who you are and exactly what you are. And now you have fucking destroyed my morning. You have completely fucking destroyed my peace this morning, my happiness this morning. You have fucking sent a couple of fucking profane, poisonous puke pigs to this door to utter threats, to criminally harass, to cause me to be in fear of my life. Those are all Criminal Code of Canada offenses. Offenses. You're fucking offenders. Stay the fuck away from me. I have work I have to do to hold each and every one responsible for causing my family loss, harm, and injury to account. Because what we do know about this Nikki Sharma and this David Eby is that they're not going to lift a filthy fascist finger to do anything to support and serve victims of racially motivated hate crime in the province. And you continue to prove it every day, all day. Oh, is it selection month coming up next month? Selection? Who's going to be selected next to be the destroyer? Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see, won't we?